Openings and closings of story writing. Children, I know you all love stories, right? I will tell you one story. Are you ready? Let's go. Aravind was a farmer. It was late evening. He was returning home from the market in his bullock cart. The cart had a heavy load on it. It had bags of grains. Suddenly, it began to rain heavily. The wheels of the cart got stuck in the soft, wet mud. The cart would not move. Arvind was very upset. He was scared because it was getting dark. He began to wail. Oh dear, what shall I do? Who will help me? Please God, come and help me. He shouted many times for help. But he did not make an effort to push the wheels out from the mud. After some time, a stranger came up to him. The stranger said, "Why do you cry? God will not help you if you simply cry and do nothing." The farmer said, "My friend, I don't know what to do." The stranger said, "Come on, let us push the wheel." The farmer agreed. They began to push. Soon, the cart wheels came out from the wet mud. Arvind was very happy. He thanked the stranger. He said, "I will always remember your good advice." That's the end. Children, what's the moral? Self-help is the best help. Have you enjoyed the story? Pretty well, right? Can you create stories like this? I know many of you write stories in your free time. But the problem begins when you think about where do I begin. The place to begin a story is not at the very beginning. The story should begin as close to the main event as possible. For example, if you write a story that takes place at the beach, don't begin the story at home when you woke up and got ready to go to the beach. Start your story at the beach. If you write a story that involves discovering a fairy while on a picnic at the woods, don't begin 2 weeks earlier while you planning the picnic at the kitchen table. Start your story in the woods. We all know that interesting beginning attracts the readers. These are some techniques you can use as openings for writing. Instead of using traditional line once upon a time, you can use dialogues, quotations, sounds, feelings, personal experiences, statements, riddles, questions, and character descriptions. Let's go to the detailed examples using these techniques. Dialogues as opening of a story. Introduce the characters directly with their dialogues in the beginning of a story. Children, can you observe the dialogues which I mentioned here? Are you sure we should go this weekend? She shoved the curtain aside, sneering at the graying clouds. What's the big deal anyway? He anchored the sheet from the envelope. If you are not going to, she grabbed his face. At least listen to me. I don't see the point in even trying. These are dialogues of a husband and wife. These dialogues create interest in readers and they will become more anxious to find what is happening in the story. Quotations make readers favorable to your story. Jane Austen, in her novel Pride and Prejudice, she mentioned a quote in the beginning. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. This beginning made Pride and Prejudice a popular novel. So, like Jane Austen, try to start with a quote. Questions or riddles. If you are writing a story of a Spider-Man, you can use this question as opening line. Have you ever met a friend like Spider-Man? Or if you are writing a horror story, you can use this question. Has anyone ever scared you or given you nightmares? Here I have mentioned riddles also. Can you find answers for them? There is room in which no one can enter and no one can leave. What is the answer? It's mushroom. If a man would carry my burden, he would break his back. I'm not rich, but leave silver in my track. Do you know the answer? It's a snail. Children, I don't tell you the answer for last one. You just find out and tell me. These questions and riddles make readers to think deep about the story. Onomatopoeia words. These are sounds used as words. Example, quack quack as duck sound, tring tring as telephone sound. If you want to create a natural environment in your story, you can add these sounds as opening lines. Do you want one more example for it? Boom! The shot rang out in the dark of the night, but no one could tell where it came from. Children, do not start a story unless you have ending in mind, because closings are as important as beginnings. Closings are similar to beginnings. Like beginnings, you can end the story with feelings or quotations. Otherwise, leave ending for readers' interpretation or answer their questions at the end. In our story, Aravind learned a lesson at the end. Like that, you can end with what character learned in the story. We can't start a story with surprise or twist. It's only possible at the end. You can shock the reader with an unexpected ending. You can end the story where it began, which is called circular ending. Or you can end by hinting what will happen to the characters in future. Good writers have clever conclusions at the end of their story. Here, some more detailed examples for conclusions. If you want to end your story with feeling, you can use this line. I felt like the luckiest kid on earth that day. If you want to end it with question, do you think I will ever get to go swimming again? Like in our story, if you want to give a lesson, from now on, I will always remember to bring a towel to the pool. Otherwise, if you want to end it with advice, if you want my advice, I think you should go swimming more often. Children, do you know? Creating and telling a story helps you to organize your thoughts and also helps you better read and understand stories written by other people. So, if you want to organize your thoughts, create or tell a story. Here I have given you pictures with clues. Create a story using those pictures. Let's see who will write a creative story using these pictures. You can make anything by writing. Keep going.